Hello, my name is Dr. Elasticity, Professor of Economics, Department of Finance and Economics, Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Today, we are going to talk about Chapter 2, Labor Supply. This video is about, estimate of the labor supply elasticity. So let's begin the lecture with the definition of the labor supply elasticity. So the labor supply elasticity, gamma, measure the responsiveness in hours worked to the change in the wage rate. Mathematically, gamma equal to the percent change in hours worked divided by the percent change in the wage rate. So if the value of the labor supply elasticity, gamma, is less than 1, we say that it's inelastic, so meaning that hours of work respond proportionally less than the change in the wage rate. Therefore, the percentage change in the hour of work would be less than the percentage change in the wage rate. And in this case, the substitution effect would dominate the income effect. On the other hand, if gamma is the value of the labor supply elasticity is greater than 1, we say that it's elastic, meaning that hours of work responded proportionally more than the change in the wages. In this case, the percentage change in the wages would be less than the percentage change of the hours, and then therefore the income effect will dominate the substitution effect. So let's go over an example of computing gamma. Suppose, for instance, that the work wage is initially $10 per hour, and she worked 1,900 hours per year, and the worker get a raise of $20 per hour. She decided now to work 2,090 hours per year. What is this worker labor supply elasticity gamma? So to compute gamma, let's begin with the formula of gamma. Gamma equal to, so the percentage change in H, hours of work, or divided by the percentage change in W, so which is the wage rate. So let's compute on the side the percentage change of H, delta of H here. So the initial the hours work with the raise is 2,090 hours minus so the initial hours 1,900 divided by 1,900, so multiply by 100 to have it in percent. So then you get so 10. This will go to 10%. 10%. So the hour work will change by 10%, and then let's also compute. Let's do the same thing for the percentage change of the wage rate W. So the pay raise was $20 minus $20 minus $10 divided by $10 times 100 to have it in percent. So 20 minus 10, that's 10. 10 divided by 10, that's 10. That's 1 times 100, that's 100%. That's 100%. So therefore, gamma will equal to, now the percentage change in H in the wage in the hours work is 10%, divided by the percentage change in the wage rate is 100%. So 10 divided by 100 is going to be 0.1, or which is less than 1, is going to be inelastic. going to be inelastic, meaning that so the percentage change in the wage rate, which is 100%, is greater than the percentage change in the hours worked, which is 10%. Therefore, in this case, the substitution effect would dominate the income effect. So now let's focus on the problems with the estimate of elasticity. There are three major problems, with the estimation for the elasticity. So the first one is the hours of work. Is it hours of work per day, per week, or per year in estimating the labor supply regression? So this is important to specify that in the survey to make sure that there is no error in the measurement, unit of measurement. The next problem is the the wage rate, so W. The survey does not typically report an hourly wage rate, even though the typical worker is paid on the annual salary. You want to make sure that so the unit of measurement of the salary is matched with so what is given in the survey. The third problem is the non-labor income V. V is defined as the part of the worker income stream that has nothing to do with hours she worked. So example for non-income labor is so the interest rate you could earn on your saving account, so at the bank. So that interest does not depend on your income. So therefore, the taste for work or leisure will depend on the worker view of leisure as either inferior or normal good. Now let's talk about policy application, the welfare program, and work incentive. Usually, the welfare program have a negative impact on work incentive. The welfare program have tendency to, so give worker a higher reservation wage, in which case the worker might not be interested in finding a job or might not be interested in working. For instance, program like cash grant, reduced wage incentive. Also program, welfare program also create work disincentive. Workers will not be interested in working at all because they're receiving, assistance from the government. Welfare also reduces supply of labor by increasing non-labor income. By increasing non-labor income, this will also raise the reservation wage for worker. With higher worker reservation wage, worker will not be interested in working. So let's now talk about the effect of a cash grant on work incentive. So a take or leave cash grant of $1,000 per week move the worker from point P to point G and encourage the worker to leave the labor force. We before the $1,000 cash grant from the government, worker will be consuming at point P, and spending 70 hours on leisure time and 40 hours on working. After receiving the $1,000 cash grant from the government, now so the the indifference scale will shift from U0 to U1, and worker now will be consuming at point G, where worker will consume at point G where is spending $110 hours on leisure time and only 0 hours working. Therefore, this worker will leave the labor force, so because they will be not working and they will not be interested in working. So to identify the effect of welfare program on hours work, let's look at the budget line H, H and G, where the slope is at -$5. So before receiving $1,000 cash grant, so the slope of the budget line was -10. So at the slope of -5, there is a reduction of 50% taxes on labor earning. So then, because the worker was consuming at point P, 70% spent on leisure time, and so for only 70 hours spent on leisure time, 40 hours spent working per week. Now because of the cash the cash grant program, 1,000, now the income, this will move worker to point Q with the income effort. So and with the substitution effort, worker will move to point R. At this point R, worker is working 100 hours of leisure time and only 10 hours of working. So therefore, so with the income effort and substitution effort, so there is a reduction of working hours from 40 hours per week to 10 hours. So to 10 hours, which is saying that the welfare program has a negative impact on work incentive. So, what is the impact of welfare program on retirement? So, lifetime income is higher the longer a worker put off retirement. The longer you say working, the higher will be your income in that sense. So also, if a pension benefit are constant, wage increase have a substitution and income effect, so lifetime income might not be altered or changed. Also, an increase in the pension benefit reduces the price of retirement, so increasing the demand for leisure and encouraging the worker to retire early. So, what is the impact of Social Security earning test on hours of work? So, the Social Security earning test, which taxes retirees when they earn more than $17,000 a year per year, generate the budget line, that affected behavior in varying ways, several ways. The repeal of the earning test move retirees to another budget line. As a result, one retiree will not change its hours of work. Another retiree will not reduce its hours, and then a third retiree might increase or decrease its hours depending on whatever substitution or income effort dominate. In conclusion, overall, the theory suggests that elimination of the Social Security earning test is unlikely to substantially increase labor among retirees. The second conclusion is about the empirical evidence which confirm the theoretical explanation that the labor supply effect of the repeal tend to be small. This is the end of the video about the estimate of labor supply elasticity. Next time, we'll talk about human capital and the present value. Thank you.